It's official. Karoline Leavitt has achieved the unexpected and secured a major win.
Think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
After months of courtroom drama, viral headlines, and intense pressure behind the scenes at ABC, Karoline Leavitt has done the unexpected. She just won her groundbreaking $800 million defamation case against The View. Yes, you heard that right. The one-installment daytime show has faced one of the biggest challenges in its history, leaving Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and Sunny Hostin reportedly stunned. Their show's credibility is under intense scrutiny, and the network is facing serious fallout. As for Karoline, this wasn't just a personal victory, it marked a major shift. A powerful message was sent. Standing up to mainstream media can lead to real change. So how did it all unfold? What exactly happened on The View that sparked this media storm? And how did Karoline turn a viral controversy into an $800 million courtroom triumph? Buckle up, because this story is a wild ride. Before we dive into all the details, make sure to hit that like button, tap subscribe, and stay tuned. This might just change the way you see daytime television forever. If you've already subscribed, perfect. Let's break it all down. Like many viral moments on The View, it started with a smirk, a glance, and a sharp comment that felt almost rehearsed. Karoline Leavitt didn't walk into that studio unaware. She knew it would be a challenge. As a right-leaning voice, she expected tough questions, but she arrived calm, prepared, and determined to focus on national defense, civic engagement, and policy. What she encountered, however, felt less like a conversation and more like a tough, unexpected confrontation, disguised as casual talk show banter.
They really don't like this woman. She's a good communicator. And so Joy Behar just offered her analysis on why Leavitt was picked for the role.
Joy Behar led the conversation, leaning across the table with a pointed comment and a familiar smirk. "Come on, Karoline's not here for her ideas. Trump probably just thinks she's a 10, she quipped. The studio reacted instantly, but instead of light-hearted laughs, the moment felt heavy, with chuckles and awkward grins filling the room. Sunny Hostin quickly followed up, adding, "Let's be honest, this isn't about qualifications. She's just a symbol of privilege. That's it." The atmosphere turned tense, feeling more like a pile-on than a debate. And then Whoopi Goldberg weighed in, leaning back and delivering the line that would later ignite a media firestorm. "If it weren't for today's changing standards, you wouldn't even have this opportunity." That moment was the spark. Clips of the exchange spread across social media within hours, with hashtags like #KarolineSitUp and #TheView trending buzzing everywhere. Yet through it all, Karoline stayed composed. No angry posts, no emotional live streams. She simply adjusted her blazer, took a slow sip of water, and smiled.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now, as
I'm
for
sorry,
this
guys.
debate,
We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right. ABC should wait.
In that moment, Karoline didn't flinch. She was ready. As soon as the cameras stopped rolling, she made a call that would change everything, straight to her legal team. The headlines hit fast and loud. Karoline Leavitt sues The View for $800 million. ABC faces turmoil after major lawsuit. Conservative Voice launches legal action against daytime TV, and just like that, the smirks were gone. This wasn't a social media dust-up or a heated debate. This was serious. Karoline had filed a massive lawsuit, backed by a top-tier legal team, detailed evidence, and footage that painted a very different picture of what had happened on air. At the heart of her case was a powerful claim: character defamation. But this wasn't a vague argument. Karoline's team brought clear, solid evidence. They submitted transcripts capturing every moment of the segment, unedited camera footage, and even behind-the-scenes clips where off-air conversations revealed the planning behind the show's tone. Most shocking were internal communications from the production team. Planning notes suggesting they set the tone of the conversation in a pointed way. That was the turning point. The evidence showed this wasn't just an interview gone wrong, it looked orchestrated. ABC was caught off guard. Executives rushed to respond, legal teams worked around the clock, and public relations departments scrambled to manage the fallout. Even network insiders acknowledged this wasn't just a tough news cycle, it was a major crisis.
President Trump's life echoed the sentiment that President Trump is a threat to democracy. And if you're a deranged lunatic and you're mentally ill, you will believe that lie. And yes, you will take political violence like we have seen in 2 instances against President Trump. Last week, Tim Walz and Kamala Harris said that everyone who showed up to President Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden was a Nazi. That's despicable, dangerous, divisive rhetoric that is spewed by the Democrat Party every single day.
Suddenly, Karoline Leavitt wasn't just another guest on a daytime show. She became the woman who exposed the hidden side of so-called harmless banter. She wasn't trending for a clever quote. She was trending because she achieved the unthinkable, making a major network face real accountability for years of unchecked commentary. And this was only the beginning. As the lawsuit made national headlines, the atmosphere at ABC shifted overnight. What was once confidence turned into quiet concern. Behind the bright studio lights and polished smiles, there was growing unease. According to insiders, Whoopi Goldberg was the first to feel the pressure. The legendary host, usually unfazed by controversy, reportedly reached out through back channels, hoping for a private meeting to de-escalate the situation. But by then, the story had already taken on a life of its own. Joy Behar, known for her boldness on air, allegedly took a different route. Sources say she personally contacted Karoline's legal team, asking if there was any way to resolve matters quietly, even suggesting a possible public statement or clarification. Meanwhile, Sunny Hostin, the only trained attorney among the panel, understood the gravity of the situation immediately. Reports claim she quickly sought private legal advice, independent of the network, exploring whether she could distance herself from the lawsuit altogether. While the team at The View worked frantically behind the scenes, Karoline's camp remained calm and strategic, quietly building momentum while the network struggled to contain the fallout.
Isn't it rich that The View is saying she got the job based on looks when DEI is all about based on looks?
ABC's boardroom turned into a battlefield. Emergency meetings were happening daily, with executives debating every option on the table, settlements, statements, and yes, even the once unthinkable idea, canceling The View. The first whispers about cancellation reportedly started during a late-night meeting between top legal advisors and the crisis PR team. But whispers don't stay quiet for long. Staff overheard, messages leaked, and soon social media exploded with speculation. Meanwhile, Karoline Leavitt stayed calm. Her legal team issued a powerful one-line statement that sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Accountability cannot be negotiated. With that, the tone shifted. While some hoped an apology might smooth things over, Karoline made it clear they were prepared to see it through to the end. And then it happened, the showdown everyone had been waiting for. Courtroom lights, media everywhere, flashing cameras, it felt more like an award show than a legal hearing. Karoline arrived composed and confident, dressed in a navy suit, no entourage, no theatrics, just pure focus. Across the aisle, the hosts of The View looked shaken. Whoopi Goldberg wore sunglasses indoors. Joy Behar was quiet, her usual wit absent. Sunny Hostin clutched legal documents, her face showing deep concern. The trial began with powerful footage. Moments from the show played in slow motion, showing every controversial comment, every moment that sparked the case. The room fell silent. Then came the evidence. Emails, internal messages, meeting notes. One document in particular filled the courtroom screen in bold letters. "We need a viral moment. Karoline's the target today." Gasps rippled through the courtroom. Even jurors looked visibly stunned. And then the final piece. A voice recording from a producer after the show, saying, "We got what we needed." Karoline sat quietly, watching it unfold. No anger, no drama, just quiet certainty. Finally, the verdict came in. The jury found The View liable for defamation, ordering ABC and the co-hosts to pay $800 million in damages. The internet exploded. Social media timelines filled with reactions, TikTok videos recapped every twist, and live streams covered the verdict in real time. Commentators called it the most expensive mistake in talk show history. And Karoline? No gloating, no over-the-top celebration. She simply thanked her team, smiled, and walked out, making it clear she didn't just win a lawsuit, she changed the game. The morning after the verdict, chaos hit ABC headquarters like never before. According to insiders, top advertisers, including some of the biggest global brands, began pulling out within hours. PR teams were overwhelmed, legal departments worked nonstop, and executives held intense meetings debating whether The View should be rebranded or even taken off the air completely. One internal memo, leaked to the press, captured the mood perfectly. "We underestimated this guest. We underestimated this lawsuit. Now we're facing the worst PR crisis in network history." It was marked urgent in bold red letters. As for the hosts, Whoopi Goldberg hasn't returned to the set. Joy Behar has gone completely quiet. Sunny Hostin has stayed out of the spotlight. Meanwhile, producers are dodging reporters and canceling interviews. Insiders say the atmosphere backstage feels heavy and tense, like the end of an era. On the other side, Karoline Leavitt's star is rising fast. Once brushed off by mainstream media, she's now being praised as a new voice for media accountability. Some have even dubbed her the conservative AOC, pointing to the way she took on one of the biggest daytime shows and won. Her social media numbers are skyrocketing, with comment sections flooded with support. One viral tweet captured the moment perfectly. Karoline didn't just win in court. She won a generation's trust. Another simply said, "The girl who took on daytime TV and won."
Most divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world.
Fans are even turning the moment into merchandise. T-shirts are popping up with slogans like 800 million equals accountability stamped across the front, and stickers with bold warnings like "Next time you mock someone, lawyer up." But this isn't just about merch, it's about a larger movement. A wave of support is building around Karoline Leavitt, turning her courtroom victory into a symbol for standing up against powerful media giants. While The View scrambles to pick up the pieces, Karoline is standing stronger than ever, a reminder that sometimes the biggest wins come when you refuse to back down. In True 9. So what happens now? The ripple effects have already begun. Talk show producers are revising their guest protocols, legal teams are training hosts on what not to say, and media executives are meeting behind closed doors, rethinking how to control live narratives. The View has made one thing clear. You can't just say whatever you want and walk away unscathed, not when Karoline Leavitt is in the audience, not when the silence is finally being broken. Karoline isn't shouting, gloating, or slowing down. She's winning with receipts, strategy, and a calm, controlled approach that shook one of the loudest platforms on television to its core. This verdict didn't just change Karoline's world, it changed everything. Every host, producer, and network has learned a lesson they'll never forget. Words have weight, and now they have consequences.
There is a lot of reporting out there that is putting the onus on this White House for the increased cost of eggs. I would like to point out to each and every one of you that in 2024, when Joe Biden was in the Oval Office, or upstairs in the residence sleeping, I'm not so sure, egg prices increased 65% in this country. We also have seen the cost of everything, not just eggs. Bacon, groceries, gasoline have increased because of the inflationary policies of the last administration.
Now it's your turn. Was Karoline right to take this fight all the way to court? Did The View finally cross a line that can't be undone? Are we witnessing the start of a new era, where media finally has to answer for its words? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're reading every single one. And before you go, smash that like button if you believe truth still matters. Hit subscribe so you don't miss a single update on this unfolding story, because Karoline Leavitt just proved something big. This isn't a punchline anymore, it's a verdict. And The View may never recover. Stay tuned.
You cannot be attractive and smart. I will try to give Joy the benefit, and well, thank you. I try to give Joy the benefit of the doubt that she didn't see that briefing, because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman who held her own.
I mean, you would have to give her the benefit of the doubt that she did absolutely no research or reading about anything dealing with Karoline Leavitt before she made that remark.
So, what happens now? The ripple effects have already begun. Talk show producers are revising their guest protocols, legal teams are training hosts on what not to say, and media executives are meeting behind closed doors, rethinking how to control live narratives. The View has made one thing clear. You can't just say whatever you want and walk away unscathed, not when Karoline Leavitt is in the audience, not when the silence is finally being broken. Karoline isn't shouting, gloating, or slowing down. She's winning with receipts, strategy, and a calm, controlled approach that shook one of the loudest platforms on television to its core. This verdict didn't just change Karoline's world, it changed everything. Every host, producer, and network has learned a lesson they'll never forget. Words have weight, and now they have consequences.
Yes, and as you mentioned, with conservative women, there's a long list of that, both of Trump's previous press secretaries, females, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Kayleigh McEnany, other figures like his campaign manager the first time, Kellyanne Conway, Sarah Palin very famously had to bear the brunt of a lot of this. So people are used to that. I think in their bubble of the audience that The View speaks to, that's probably kind of what the group think is. So one defense, I guess, is that she was speaking to her audience, but you take it outside of that bubble the way you are right now, and we all can see.
Now it's your turn. Was Karoline right to take this fight all the way to court? Did The View finally cross a line that can't be undone? Are we witnessing the start of a new era where media finally has to answer for its words? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're reading every single one. And before you go, smash that like button if you believe truth still matters. Hit subscribe so you don't miss a single update on this unfolding story, because Karoline Leavitt just proved something big. This isn't a punchline anymore, it's a verdict. And The View may never recover. Stay tuned. So, what happens now? The ripple effects have already begun. Talk show producers are revising their guest protocols, legal teams are training hosts on what not to say, and media executives are meeting behind closed doors, rethinking how to control live narratives. The View has made one thing clear. You can't just say whatever you want and walk away unscathed, not when Karoline Leavitt is in the audience, not when the silence is finally being broken. Karoline isn't shouting, gloating, or slowing down. She's